Students, welcome. Today we will study composite functions. Now, what are composite functions? If z is a function of x and xy are themselves functions of t, then z is said to be a composite function of t. Again, if z is a function of x and xy are all themselves functions of u and v, then z is said to be a composite function of u and v. Now, how will we differentiate these composite functions? If a function z is equal to fxy has continuous partial derivatives with respect to x and xy have derivatives with respect to t, then dz upon dt will be equal to partial derivative of z with respect to x into dx upon dt plus curly z upon curly y into dy upon dt. Here we have z is equal to fxy, and suppose that delta x delta y be the increment in the independent variable x and y respectively, and delta z be the corresponding increment in z, then this can be written as z plus delta z is equal to fx plus delta x y plus delta y. Suppose this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. By subtracting equation 1 from 2, we get z plus delta z minus z. This comes out to be delta z, and similarly in right side we have fx plus delta x y plus delta y minus fxy. Now delta z is equal to fx plus delta x y plus delta y. If we add fx x y plus delta y and subtract the same minus f x y plus delta y, then we get delta z is equal to fx plus delta x y plus delta y minus fx y plus delta y plus fx y plus delta y minus fxy. By using Lagrange's mean value theorem, this will be equal to delta x partial derivative of f with respect to x at point x plus theta 1 delta x y plus delta y fy at x y plus theta 2 delta y, where theta 1 and theta 2 are the real numbers between 0 and 1. Now suppose that this partial derivative fx at x plus theta 1 delta x plus y plus delta y is equal to fx at xy plus epsilon 1, where epsilon 1 approaches to 0 as delta x and delta y approach to 0. Similarly, fy x y plus theta 2 delta y is equal to fy x y plus epsilon 2, where epsilon 2 approaches to 0 as delta x delta y approaches to 0. By using these in equation 3, we have delta z is equal to delta x fx y plus epsilon 1 plus delta y fy at xy plus epsilon 2, and this can be written as, by rearranging, delta x curly partial derivative of f with respect to x at xy plus delta y fy xy plus epsilon 1 delta x epsilon 2 delta y. We can write it as delta z is equal to curly z upon curly x delta x curly z upon curly y delta y plus epsilon 1 delta x plus epsilon 2 delta y. Dividing both sides by delta t in small change in t in parameter t, we get delta z upon delta t curly z upon curly x delta x upon delta t curly z upon curly y into delta y upon delta t plus epsilon 1 delta x upon delta t epsilon 2 delta y upon delta t. Now if take limit on both sides as delta t approaches to 0, delta x approaches to 0, delta y approaches to 0, when these delta x and delta y approach to 0, epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 also approach to 0, then we get this delta z upon delta t becomes dz upon dt, and curly z upon curly x, this delta x upon delta t becomes dx upon dt, and this delta y upon delta t becomes dy upon dt, and these two terms approach to 0 as epsilon 1 epsilon 2 approach to 0 as delta x and delta y approach to 0. Therefore partial derivative that is derivative of a composite function z can be written as, with respect to parameter t, partial derivative of z with respect to x, dx upon dt plus curly z upon curly y dy upon dt. Now if fxy has continuous partial derivative with respect to x and y, and xy are both have continuous partial derivative with respect to u and v, then curly z upon curly u, because z is an ultimately a function of two variables u and v, and then curly z upon curly u will be equal to curly z upon curly x, curly x upon curly u plus curly z upon curly y into curly y upon curly u. Similarly, curly z upon curly v will be equal to curly z upon curly x upon curly v plus curly z upon curly y and into curly y upon curly v. Suppose v is a constant so that x and y both can be regarded as function of u only, and by using the above theorem, curly z upon curly u will be equal to this one, and similarly curly z upon curly v will be equal to curly z upon curly x upon curly v plus curly z upon curly y into curly y upon curly v. Now what are implicit functions? Implicit functions. Suppose fxy is a function of two variables and y is equal to phi x is a function of x, such that fx phi x vanishes identically when then y is equal to phi x is the implicit function defined by a functional equation fxy is equal to 0. Suppose that fxy satisfy the condition under which y is defined as a derivable function of x, then we have to show that dx upon dy is equal to minus partial derivative of f with respect to x upon partial derivative of f with respect to y, provided fy is not equal to 0, and similarly second derivative d2y upon dx square will be equal to fx square fy whole square, f2x fy square minus fxy fy plus f2y into fx square upon fy cube, provided fy is not equal to 0, and also fxy is equal to fyx. Because f is a function of two variables x and y, and x is again function of x, then we can regard f as a composite function of x. Differentiating fxy with respect to x, curly f upon curly x dx upon dx plus curly f upon curly x dy upon dx will be equal to these dx upon dx cancel out, and this will be equal to curly f upon curly x plus curly f upon curly y into dy upon dx is equal to 0. And transposing this term on the right hand side and dividing both sides by curly f upon curly y, we get dy upon dx is equal to minus curly f upon curly x upon curly f upon curly y, that is minus fx upon fy. Again, if we differentiate this equation again with respect to x, then d2y upon dx will be equal to, by using quotient rule, u upon v square of curly f upon curly y into curly f upon curly y as it is, and derivative of numerator curly f upon curly x minus numerator as it is, derivative of denominator. This will be equal to curly f upon curly y, and this total derivative by using the above theorem, curly f upon curly x of curly f upon curly x plus curly f upon curly y upon curly x into dy upon dx. Similarly, this can be written as curly f upon curly x as it is, so this total differential curly f upon curly x of f curly f to curly y plus partial derivative with respect to y of f curly f upon curly y into dy upon dx. After simplification, we can write it as curly f upon curly y, this is the second order derivative, partial derivative of f, this will be equal to curly 2f upon curly x square. Similarly, this will be equal to curly 2f upon curly x curly y into dy upon dx minus curly upon curly x, this is partial derivative of f second order partial derivative, curly 2f upon curly x curly y, and this will be equal to curly 2f upon curly y square into dy upon dx. if we use these symbols for these partial derivative, then this will be equal to fy, and this is f2x fxy minus by using the first result dy, we have established in the first equation, is equal to minus fx upon fy. Using this result, we have minus fx fyx plus f2y into minus fx upon fy square, and after simplification we get this is the required result. Now, implicit function theorem. Statement of implicit function theorem. Suppose fxy is a function of two variables x and y, and AB be a point in its domain, then such that function at AB is equal to 0 and partial derivative of f with respect to x and y exist and are continuous in the certain neighborhood of point AB, and value of partial derivative of f with respect to y at AB is not equal to 0, then there is a rectangle a minus h a plus h, b minus k b plus k about, this is the rectangular neighborhood of point AB, such that for every x in this interval fxy is equal to 0 determines one and only one value of y is equal to phi x lying in this interval b minus k to b plus k with the following properties: b is equal to phi a and fx phi x is equal to 0 for every x in interval a minus h to a plus h, and phi x is a derivable and both phi x and phi dash x are continuous in this interval a minus h and a plus h. Now we have statement of inverse function theorem. If A be an open subset of Rn and Fb is a continuously differentiable mapping of A into Rn, and f dash is a invertible function for some A in capital A and B is equal to Fa, then there is an open set G in and H in Rn such that A belongs to G, B belongs to H, and F is 1 1 on G and Fg is equal to H, and if G is an inverse of F defined in H by G of Fx is equal to X, then G belongs to C dash H. Now let us take some examples. Use chain rule to find the derivative of z is equal to xy. This is a composite function and t is a parameter. Along the path x is equal to cos t, y is equal to sin t. Also find dz upon dt at t is equal to pi by 2. Z is equal to xy and x is equal to cos t and y is equal to sin t. Therefore, curly z upon curly x is equal to y. If we differentiate z partially with respect to x and y, we get curly z upon curly x is equal to y and curly z upon curly y is equal to x. Similarly, if we differentiate this equation with respect to t, that dx upon dt will be equal to minus sin t and dy upon dt will be equal to cos t. Then by chain rule, dz upon dt is equal to curly z upon curly x dx upon dt plus curly z upon curly y into dy upon dt. By putting all these values in this, we get y into minus sin t plus x into cos t, and this is equal to y. Because y is equal to sin t, by putting the value of y, sin t minus sin t, and by putting the value of x, because x is equal to cos t, we get cos t into cos t. This is equal to minus sin square t plus cos square t. This is equal to cos square t minus sin square t is equal to cos 2t. At t is equal to pi by 2, we get dz upon dt is equal to cos pi is equal to minus 1. Now we take another example. Suppose z is equal to x cube minus xy plus y cube and x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta, then we have to find curly z upon curly and curly z upon curly theta. Now curly z upon curly r will be equal to curly z upon curly x upon curly r plus curly z upon curly y upon curly r. Now we find curly z upon curly x from this equation. Curly z upon curly x will be equal to, we take x as a variable and y is a constant. This will be equal to 3x square minus y. This is equal to curly z upon curly x, and similarly curly z upon curly y will be equal to minus x plus 3y square. Similarly curly x upon curly r will be equal to cos theta, and curly y upon curly r is equal to sin theta. By putting all these values in this expression, we get after simplification this is equal to 3r square cos cube theta plus sin cube theta minus 2r sin theta cos theta. Similarly curly z upon curly theta will be equal to curly z upon curly x upon curly theta plus curly z upon curly y upon curly theta. By differentiating partially z with respect to x and y, and then by differentiating x with respect to theta, x and y with respect to theta partially, then we get, by putting these all these values in this, we get curly z upon curly theta is equal to minus 3r cube sin theta cos theta sin theta minus sin theta minus r square cos square theta sin square theta. These are some examples for the chain rule to find the derivative of a function, composite function, with respect to a parameter t. So thank you students.